Hello, everyone, colleagues. Addressing those of you who create a photograph or create images, AI-generated pictures, AI-generated videos, or classic videos, classic photographs, or maybe even draw vectors or generate them as well. In short, I'm addressing all of you. Today is another episode of the series, So How Are the Sales, where I talk about what I've sold. And literally, I want to show you some of my sales specifically. I'll probably show 5 or 6 of them that I sold just today, and I'll comment on them a bit. If you don't understand what this is about, I'm a stock photographer person who creates images or videos or shoots them and sells them on special platforms called stock photo sites. There are a lot of stock photo sites, several of them: Adobe Stock, Shutterstock, Pond5, Dreamstime, and so on and so forth. In general, that's a separate topic for discussion. Today, I'm just sharing my latest sales. So here are today's sales. I'm showing 5 sales. Obviously, I won't be showing you all my sales because they're top sellers and I keep those away from prying eyes. I think if you are a stalker, will understand what I am talking about. But as for the sales that aren't super top sellers, but are somewhat interesting, I think it might be useful for you to see them. Maybe you'll get some ideas and you'll be able to develop what you see into your own shoots or generations and so on and so forth. So picture number 1. What do I have here? This is a Spanish soup. Since I live in Spain, it would have been a sin not to photograph it. I used to shoot a lot of food photography for stock. So it would have been a sin for me not to photograph Spanish gazpacho. Or there's also another soup called salmorejo. But I think this one is gazpacho. This soup is rather strange because I read somewhere, I haven't tried it myself, but I read that there is gazpacho with watermelon. And here, let me open a larger image. Yes. And here in this gazpacho, I added watermelon. Although, in fact, to be honest, in all the years I've lived here, almost 8 years, I have never seen gazpacho with watermelon served anywhere. Well, maybe they do it in some hidden corners of Spain. Anyway, the photo was taken and it ended up being sold. I can't say that it sells often, but I do have a few other photos of Spanish soups. In particular, there's another soup called salmorejo. It's similar to gazpacho, also tomato-based, but more bread is added to it. Well, it's quite tasty, and it's eaten cold, so it's a kind of sama soup, this tomato mixture plus chopped boiled egg and pieces of jamona added. It would be better if it was, of course, Iberian jamon. Then everything would be absolutely wonderful and delicious. As I'm telling you about this, my mouth is actually watering, so I'll stop and move on to the next image. This is also a photograph. Some years ago, this was a very successful, very popular photograph. I photographed Redu. What is this? A bottle in the background and a glass of port wine. Port wine, or simply port. So I photographed it in a low-key style, and it sold very well. Again, as time passes, what was once at the top gradually fades away, so you constantly need to create new works. I really liked the low-key photography style, and I still do. Shooting in a low-key style or simply looking at and enjoying such photos in general, I took a lot of them and they sold well. Let's move on to the next photo. And this is an editorial photo that I took about 2 months ago. I went to Valencia with my family specifically to shoot editorial photos for the festival. There is a festival like this in Spain, and here in Alicante we'll have it soon. They build huge figures and then burn them. We walked around the city and I was taking photos. To be honest, it was rainy and the weather wasn't really ideal for shooting. But then I saw this couple, a sweet couple in this Pastel Chadesa scooter and a car, and I photographed them. Visually, I really liked it myself. And then a sale happened. All the sales I'm talking about now are sales that happened on Adobe Stock, the main stock site where, in fact, many stock photographers earn their income. Moving on to the next sale, and this is nothing other than, well, probably a hang glider, a person flying on a hang glider. Honestly, I don't even remember when I generated all this, but this generation, well, it sold. The little person is very small, as if generated from the back, if I'm not mistaken. So, yes, if you generate or create images with neural networks, when there are little people, small human figures, a lot of unpleasant things can appear, artifacts and so on. That's it. But when the person is shown from the back and at such a small size, in general, there weren't really any problems with artifacts here. In general, it's sold. And overall, I think this is a bit of summer content. And I also noticed that my summer photos have started selling more But since I have a lot of food photos, for example, I've started selling more ice cream photographed at different times and in different ways. Next picture. This is not a photograph, just like the previous one wasn't a photograph either. This one isn't too. This is an AI generated image. Here there's some kind of road situation, cars, and the weather is so. Well, in general, someone needed this AI generated image to illustrate something apparently related to roads, traffic, or just some kind of urban or intercity life. And colleagues, I also wanted to show you an AI generated video that was also sold today. AI generated videos are clips created using neural networks. I've also created quite a lot of them, and I still do. Sometimes I make more, sometimes less. So a video like this was sold, showing reels with some kind of industrial material, or maybe not industrial, some sort of semi-finished product, either plastic or paper. Colleagues, and finally, as always by tradition, I want to invite you to try out my keywording tool. Together with my team, we've created a keywording tool that helps stock contributors and makes their lives easier. You can upload photos, SVG files, PNGs, JPEGs, and very soon even MP4 and MOV files, that is, videos, and you can get descriptions and keywords for your clips very quickly using artificial intelligence. The service is already up and running. In just a couple of days, we'll be launching video descriptions, but for now, photos and other images and even vectors are described by this service extremely well. So if you're a stock contributor, just follow the link below this video and try describing 10 pieces of your content for free. If you like it, maybe you'll get a monthly subscription or buy some credits. Goodbye, everyone. All the best and big sales to you.